Chapter 671 Elder Yi, what are you doing with a broken piece of wood? Master Ko. Since you said that my attainments in painting are not good, do you dare to compete with me? At this time, Yi Feng also looked at Ku Yan with a playful look and challenged him. Compete with you? Sorry, you are not qualified yet. Hearing Yi Feng's provocation, Ku Yan refused calmly. Not qualified? You dare not compete at all. What a guy with nothing on the surface. At this time, Shi Dachuan, who had been standing behind Yi Feng, looked at Ku Yan with contempt and mocked him. Heh! How ridiculous. This guy doesn't think that if he lets this beautiful maid provoke me, I will take the bait. After hearing Shi Dachuan's ridicule, Ku Yan also sneered, then stood up and said, Come on, I will make an exception today and compete with you. I will make you lose with conviction. My words don't work. Shi Dachuan, this androgynous guy, just said a word, and it worked. Yi Feng, who was sitting on the chair, was shocked when he heard this. He really didn't expect that bringing Shi Dachuan here would have such a benefit. System. Which of the paper and pens used for painting in the God realm are more precious? After recovering from his shock, Yi Feng asked the system. Although he was only good at drawing pictures of chickens catching insects, as a spendthrift, he had to use the best paper and pens even for extremely difficult paintings like chickens catching insects. Ding. Host, although you are competing with the opponent, this is the audition stage after all, so you don't need to use the best paper and pens for painting. The system recommends that the host use black sandpaper and brushes made of 9 mysterious ghost wood for the competition. As Yi Feng finished speaking, the system's voice rang in his mind. Don't we need the best ones now? Then the black sandpaper and the paintbrush made of the 9 mysterious ghost wood are probably not good things. Thinking of this, Yi Feng suddenly thought of something, and then said to the system again, System, I am completing a random task. Shouldn't you provide me with some of the things needed for the task? Ding. All the resources needed during the task are provided by the system indefinitely. Please enjoy the happiness brought by the task. Soon, the system's voice sounded from Yi Feng's mind. A moment later. Purple flow sandpaper. The paintbrush made of luo qingchenmo. These are all extremely expensive things. If I use such expensive paper and pen to compete with you, I'm afraid you will be scared before the competition even starts. Standing in front of the painting table, when Ku Yan took out the paper and pen needed for this competition, he looked at Yi Feng and Shi Dachuan with a proud look on his face. Elder Yi. What is the paper and pen that guy took out? At this time, Shi Dachuan also looked at Yi Feng with curiosity and asked, after all, he knew nothing about painting. Humph. It's just some garbage. It seems that he really doesn't take me seriously. He actually plans to use those garbage paper and pens to compete with me. Hearing Shi Dachuan's question, Yi Feng first took a look at the paper and pen that Ku Yan took out next to him, and then started talking nonsense seriously. After all, he knew nothing about painting, so how could he recognize what kind of paper and brush it was? Garbage? You call the purple sandpaper and luoqing sinking wood brushes garbage? You know, these paper and pens are the best paper and pens that can cause countless painters to exclaim in the examination field. In the end, you call them garbage? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Ku Yan couldn't believe his ears for a moment. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Ku Yan calmed down his mood, then looked at Yi Feng with disdain and said, Since you said my purple sandpaper and luoqing sinking wood brush are garbage, then I want to see what kind of paper and pen you can come up with. It's over. Looking at the other party, the purple sandpaper and luoqing sinking wood pen don't seem to be very bad paper and pens. Then the black sandpaper and the brush made of jiushuan ghost wood that the system recommends me to use now won't make me lose face. With an uneasy mood, Yi Feng took out a piece of black sandpaper from the system space first. Black sandpaper. It's actually black sandpaper. This guy actually has black sandpaper in his hand. After seeing that the drawing paper Yifeng took out was actually black sandpaper, Kuyan also showed an extremely shocked look. You know, this black sandpaper is top-level drawing paper. Even his master only has 9 pieces in his hand. Moreover, this black sandpaper is his master's beloved little treasure. Whether he can take a look at it at ordinary times depends on his master's mood. As for touching it, it is still a luxury for him. What's going on? Where are the paintbrushes made of 9 mysterious ghost wood? When Yifeng saw the 5-meter long and half-meter diameter 9 mysterious ghost wood in the system space, he was confused and asked the system immediately, "System, are you going to let me make the paintbrushes myself?" Ding. Host, the 9 mysterious ghost wood is a special sacred tree used for painting. You only need to cut off a piece and then cut it casually. When using it, you only need to integrate the divine power in your body into the 9 mysterious ghost wood. So that's it. That's quite simple, but this job can only be left to Xiaoshi. Thinking of this, Yifeng first looked at the size of the room, and felt that he could easily put down a piece of 9 profound ghost essence wood, so he took out a piece of 9 profound ghost essence wood from the system space. Boom! With a loud bang, when Kuyan saw the huge 9 profound ghost essence wood that Yifeng took out, the whole person was stunned on the spot. Crazy! This guy is crazy. He even has 9 profound ghost essence wood, and it's such a big and complete 9 profound ghost essence wood. After recovering from his shock, Kuyan also stuttered to himself, and his eyes were still filled with disbelief. After all, 9 profound ghost essence wood is one of the top sacred trees for making paintbrushes. Because of its extremely rare number, even his master does not have a paintbrush made of 9 profound ghost essence wood. Dong. Dong. At this time, Shi Dachuan walked to the huge 9 mysterious ghost wood, kicked it twice casually, and then looked at Yifeng with a puzzled look and asked, "Elder Yi, what are you doing with a broken piece of wood?" Chapter 672. This is not painting, this is squandering money. Broken wood? You actually call the extremely rare 9 mysterious ghost wood a broken wood? I think you look like a broken wood, your whole family is broken wood. Hearing Shi Dachuan's question, Kuyan on the side also twitched his mouth and complained crazily in his heart. I came out in such a hurry this time that I forgot to bring some brushes. Let's just use this broken wood to make some brushes. Cut off a piece with a knife, and then just cut it according to the brush in Kuxiao's hand. Hearing Shi Dachuan's question, Yifeng also explained very casually, and then took out a sword from the system space and threw it directly to Shi Dachuan. Pung! 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 In the quiet room, bursts of chopping wood began to sound one after another. Seeing Shi Dachuan's violent chopping, Kuyan on the side was almost suffocated with heartache, and he screamed in his heart, "That's the 9 mysterious ghost wood, you have to use a special knife to carefully cut off a small piece, and then make fine repairs, how can you chop it like this?" Crazy! Kuyan was really going crazy at this time. Looking at the sawdust flying everywhere, he was really distressed. After all, those large pieces of sawdust were wasted. If they were not wasted, they would be enough to make several 9 mysterious ghost spirit brushes. Who is this guy? He can have black sandpaper and such a big 9 mysterious ghost spirit wood, so he can't be an ordinary painter. After being shocked, Kuyan also looked at Yifeng, and then frowned and guessed secretly. Wait a minute. Is this guy planning to use the black ghost sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost paintbrush to compete with me? At this moment, Kuyan suddenly thought of this extremely important matter, and then a trace of uneasiness appeared on his face. In fact, he really wanted to say to Yifeng, "If you want a quota, I will give you a quota, but a painting competition is really not worth using this level of paper and pen." Huh. After taking a deep breath, Kuyan also showed a smile on his face, and then looked at Yi Feng and asked tentatively, "Young Master Yi, you are not going to use this black sandpaper and 9 mysterious ghost brush to compete with me?" "Yes. This is just a competition to learn from each other. I don't need to use some better paper and pen. Just use this set to make do." "Why, is my set of paper and pen too rubbish?" Hearing Ku Yan's question, Yi Feng also asked with some uneasiness, and at the same time complained in his heart, "The system is really getting more and more stingy. I asked to get some top-level paper and pen, but the system just didn't do it. Now, it's slapped in the face. There is no need to get better? Just make do with this set? Is this something a person can say?" Hearing Yi Feng's Versailles words, Ku Yan was really shocked. He never thought that Yi Feng could say such Versailles words, which made him not know how to respond for a while. "Is it so rubbish? Then why am I still chopping around outside? I seem to have heard someone say before that the heart of this sacred tree for making paintbrushes is the best part." Thinking of this, Shi Dachuan first rolled up his sleeves, and then the sword in his hand instantly turned into countless sword shadows, and countless wood chips flew across, and a giant tree with a length of 5 meters and a diameter of half a meter began to shrink at a speed visible to the naked eye. "Fuck. What the hell is that bitch doing? Is she crazy? Such a big 9 mysterious ghost spirit wood, and there is only a heart left after so much effort?" Seeing the wood chips all over the ground and the precious heart of the tree that was 1 meter long and as thick as a thigh in Shi Dachuan's hand, Ku Yan staggered and almost fainted from anger. At this time, in his eyes, Shi Dachuan was no longer a beautiful woman who seduced people, but a pure prodigal old woman, the kind of prodigal old woman who wanted to cut her off with a stick. "Elder Yi, I've heard people say that the best part of a sacred tree for making paintbrushes is the heart of the tree. Since this is a piece of junk sacred tree, we can only make do with the best heart of the tree." At this time, Shi Dachuan also looked at Yi Feng and explained, "You sound like you know a lot. But do you know that you've cut off half of the heart of the tree? If you don't understand, then don't just chop it off." Ku Yan, who was standing by, was so angry when he heard what Shi Dachuan said that he almost fainted. "Yes, yes, yes. The heart of the tree is the best part for making paintbrushes. I just wanted to remind you, but I didn't expect you to know this. However, you haven't cut the heart of the tree yet, you have to keep cutting, you have to cut until it's as thick as your arm, that's the real heart of the tree." At this time, Yi Feng also showed a look of understanding, and then directly reminded Shi Dachuan. "Fuck. Do you two understand it or not? If you don't understand, don't mess around. If you keep doing this, I really can't stand it." Hearing Yi Feng's unprofessional words, Ku Yan couldn't believe his ears, and even began to doubt whether Yi Feng was a painter. A moment later. "Little Shi, you can use such a broken piece of wood to make such a fine brush. It should be said that you are really talented in this area." Looking at the exquisite brush in his hand, Yi Feng was also extremely satisfied and praised Shi Dachuan. "God damn, you are so talented. Such a big piece of 9 profound ghost essence wood is enough to make tens of thousands of paintbrushes. In the end, you only made a paintbrush. You call this talent?" After hearing what Yi Feng said, Ku Yan's mouth began to twitch uncontrollably. "Master Yi, are you really going to use this 9 profound ghost essence paintbrush to paint on this black sandpaper? You know, once the 9 profound ghost essence paintbrush is integrated with divine power, it will be directly scrapped after use." Seeing Yi Feng holding the 9 profound ghost essence paintbrush and preparing to paint, Ku Yan also hurriedly reminded him. "Scrap it if you want to scrap it. Aren't paintbrushes meant to be used? If not, do you want to keep it for having children?" After saying that, Yi Feng took the 9 mysterious ghost brush and started to paint on the black sandpaper. "Fuck. The way you hold the brush. This free-spirited style of painting. This guy is not a painter at all." When Ku Yan saw the details of Yi Feng's painting, he went crazy and thought in his heart, this guy is not painting at all, he is just like that spendthrift old woman, he is spending money. Chapter 673. You call this a picture of dragon and phoenix? Too strong. Elder Yi is really strong in painting. That smooth and flowing painting style. That focused look. That confident look. I really can't imagine how he can improve his painting skills to such a level with the terrifying cultivation of the second level of the true God realm. At this time, Shi Duchuan, who was standing aside, saw Yifeng painting and praised him with stars in his eyes. Fuck. You old spendthrift woman, if you don't understand, don't talk nonsense here. What a smooth and flowing painting style, that's just a few random paintings. And the focused look and confident look, that's all he pretended. Hearing what Shi Duchuan said, Kuyan couldn't help but want to beat him up, after a moment. Put away the brush. Finished. When Yifeng finished the painting of the chicken catching insects, he casually threw the extremely precious 9 mysterious ghost brush in his hand aside, and then looked at the picture of the chicken catching insects on the black sandpaper, his eyes full of pride. At this time, Shi Duchuan and Kuyan also walked over with curiosity, but when they saw the picture of the chicken catching insects on the black sandpaper, the corners of their mouths twitched uncontrollably. Even if Shi Duchuan didn't understand painting, he realized one thing when he saw the extremely difficult picture of the chicken catching insects in front of him, that is, Yifeng didn't understand painting at all. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Shi Duchuan also looked at Yifeng and asked tentatively, Elder Yi, have you integrated your own painting ideas into this painting? Painting ideas? What painting ideas? To paint, you have to integrate painting ideas into the painting? Hearing Shi Duchuan's strange question, Yifeng also asked back with a puzzled look on his face. Fuck. Elder Yi is really not a painter. In fact, he knows less about painting than I do. After hearing what Yifeng said, Shi Duchuan had confirmed one thing, that is, Yifeng was not a painter at all. When he thought that he had always admired Yifeng from beginning to end and thought that Yifeng was a painter with extremely high attainments in painting, he felt like a big fool. Ku Xiao. Although you haven't painted yet, I want to ask you now, can my painting of dragon and phoenix be auspicious? At this time, Yifeng suddenly looked at Kuyan, and then asked seriously. You call this picture of chicken catching insects, dragon and phoenix? Is that a dragon? Is that a phoenix? Hearing what Yifeng said, Kuyan's eyes almost popped out of his head. He never thought that Yifeng could shamelessly call this painting dragon and phoenix. Huh. After taking a deep breath, Kuyan looked at Yifeng and said, Young Master Yi, you can't beat me with this dragon and phoenix painting alone. Boom. As Kuyan finished speaking, a huge boom sounded again from the room. Swish. Yifeng casually threw the black sandpaper on the table aside, then took out a new piece of black sandpaper and put it on the drawing table, then looked at Shi Duchuan and said, Little Shi, cut another brush for me, I want to draw a new one. You are a psychopath. You are not a painter, don't you have any idea in your mind, let alone repainting one more? Even if you repaint 100, you can't beat me. Seeing the black sandpaper and a 5-meter long, half-meter diameter, 9 mysterious ghost wood that Yifeng took out again, Kuyan was going crazy. He couldn't understand how a Shintoist who was not a painter could have so many treasures in his hands that painters dreamed of getting. In Kuyan's opinion, these treasures were simply a waste of heaven's gifts in Yifeng's hands. Okay. Elder Yi, I will help you cut a new brush right away. Although he already knew that Yifeng was not a painter, after hearing Yifeng's order, Shi Duchuan was still ready to execute it immediately. Alright. Master Yi, I admit that I just lied to you. You little chicken. No, the painting skills displayed by this dragon and phoenix painting are far beyond my imagination. I am not your opponent at all, so you win this competition. Seeing that Sir Dachuan was really going to make the 9 mysterious ghost essence brush again, Kuyan on the side was directly scared. He couldn't just watch Yifeng ruin a piece of black sandpaper and a piece of 9 mysterious ghost essence would because of such a meaningless competition. Elder Yi is obviously not a painter, why would Kuyan suddenly admit defeat? Sir Dachuan, who was about to chop the 9 mysterious ghost wood, heard this and showed a hint of doubt on his face. However, when he noticed that Kuyan's eyes kept sweeping towards the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost wood, his whole body suddenly shook and he had an extremely terrifying guess in his mind. Could it be that this black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost wood are not garbage, but extremely precious paper and pen in the eyes of painters? And this, Kuyan couldn't bear to see Elder Yi continue to squander money, so he took the initiative to admit defeat. Thinking of this, Sir Dachuan couldn't help but take a breath of cold air, thinking in his heart, this is the meaning of Elder Yi asking me to learn to squander money, is this the horror of squandering money? On the other side, Master Ko. Don't I really need to paint a few more? In fact, my true painting skills have not yet been shown. When Yifeng heard Kuyan admit defeat, he was also surprised, but he still wanted to fight for it. After all, the things had been taken out. At the same time, he also realized that the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost wood did not seem to be rubbish. No need. I will arrange for someone to give you the badge that passed the audition. Tomorrow, you can go directly to the preliminary round. Hearing Yifeng's words, Kuyan also responded quickly. Hey! I didn't expect that you would admit defeat after I only used 10% of my painting skills. It's really not challenging at all. After saying that, Yifeng walked towards the door with disappointment. Fuck. When it comes to pretentiousness, I would like to call Elder Yi the best. Seeing Kuyan's mouth twitching with anger, Sir Dachuan also put the 9 mysterious ghost wood beside him into the magic ring, and then immediately chased after Yifeng. When Yifeng and Sir Dachuan left the room, Kuyan also breathed a sigh of relief, and then frowned and said to himself, I'm afraid there will be a big mess in this painting competition. No, I have to tell my master about this situation. After that, Kuyan picked up the scrapped 9 mysterious ghost brush and the dragon and phoenix painting on the ground and ran towards the guest room where his master was resting. Chapter 674, This prodigal son is really going to cause a big mess. Bang! 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 As a knock on the door sounded, Gu Hongyu, who was practicing, opened his eyes and said, Come in. Kuyan. Why are you here? When Gu Hongyu saw Kuyan coming in from outside, he asked, curiously. Master. I have 5 places that can be directly selected. I have already given one. Hearing Gu Hongyu's question, Kuyan immediately answered. Oh. Kuyan, you finally got it. As the saying goes, if you don't take advantage of an opportunity, you're a bastard. Since you have the right, why don't you use it to earn some benefits? I really don't know what you thought before, but it's not too late to figure it out now. After learning about this situation, Gu Hongyu's eyes lit up, and then he looked at Kuyan with relief and said. That. Master. I didn't give the quota for collecting benefits, but I gave it to the other party after I lost a painting contest with him. Hearing Gu Hongyu's words, Kuyan explained with embarrassment. What? You lost in a painting contest with the other party? Who is the other party, how is his cultivation, and what level of attainment has he reached in painting? Knowing that his beloved disciple was given the quota because he lost the contest, Gu Hongyu also asked with surprise. Master. The other party is a young man of my age. And his cultivation is only the 2nd level of the true God realm. As for his attainments in painting, it's hard to say. However, I have brought the dragon and phoenix painting he just drew. Otherwise, you can take a look at it yourself. After hearing this, Ku Yen immediately answered. His cultivation is only the second level of the true God realm? With this kind of cultivation, how high can his attainments in painting be? Could he be a rare painter? Thinking of this, Gu Hongyu nodded and said, take out his dragon and phoenix painting and let me see it. After a moment. Nonsense. This is simply nonsense. Ku Yen, you call this picture of a chick catching an insect a picture of a dragon and a phoenix? Also, there is no painting idea on this picture of a chick catching an insect, but it is drawn on black sandpaper. Isn't this a waste of money? When Gu Hongyu saw the picture of a chick catching an insect on black sandpaper, he was stunned at first, and then he cursed with anger, his eyes full of pain. You know, even he only has 9 sheets of this black sandpaper, and unless it is some special paintings, he will not use it at all. But this kind of black sandpaper that he regards as a treasure was actually painted with such a ridiculous picture of a chick catching an insect. How can he not be angry? Master. Don't be angry first. I still have a brush that the other party used. Seeing the furious Gu Hongyu, Ku Yen did not react much, because all this was within his expectations, and then he took out the scrapped 9 mysterious ghost spirit brush that Yi Feng had thrown away. This is the 9 mysterious ghost spirit brush. Moreover, it is made from the most precious heartwood of the 9 mysterious ghost spirit wood. Looking at the brush in his hand, Gu Hongyu felt his heart was about to break, and then he looked at Ku Yen and asked with a trembling voice, did the other party use this brush to draw the dragon and phoenix on the black sandpaper? Master. You're right. The other party used this brush to draw a picture of a dragon and a phoenix on the dark sandpaper. Then he asked me if he could beat me with this painting, and I said no. As a result, he was so desperate that he was ready to use this set of paper and brush to draw another picture. I couldn't stand watching him continue to lose money, so in the end I took the initiative to admit defeat and gave him a place. At this point, Ku Yen suddenly thought of something, looked at Gu Hongyu, whose mouth had begun to twitch, and continued, by the way, Master, this brush is for Feng violently chopped a 5-meter long, half-meter diameter 9 mysterious ghost essence wood, and finally took the essence to make a paintbrush. That is to say, a 9 mysterious ghost essence wood that can make tens of thousands of 9 mysterious ghost essence brushes. The other party only made this best paintbrush. Gu Hongyu on the opposite side heard this, and suddenly covered his chest with his right hand, and then gasped and said, where did this prodigal son come from? I don't even have a 9 mysterious ghost essence brush, but he directly made tens of thousands of them? Half an hour later. Ku Yen. Let's not talk about why the other party has such rare and expensive paper and pen in his hand. I just want to know, why did he draw such a painting that can't even reach the entry level, and there is no painting idea in the painting? When Gu Hongyu completely calmed down, he looked at Ku Yen with a puzzled look and asked. Master. Through my observation, the other party is not a painter at all, and he knows nothing about painting. After hearing this, Ku Yen also expressed his thoughts. Not a painter? And he knows nothing about painting? Then, you let him pass the audition and participate in the preliminary round tomorrow? Wouldn't it be a joke to death? After all, you gave this place. Hearing this, Gu Hongyu frowned slightly. Master. You don't have to worry about this. That prodigal son said that he can only use this set of rubbish paper and pen to compete with me. So, when the preliminary round starts tomorrow, he is likely to take out paper and pen that are rarer and more expensive than the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost essence brush. And what I am worried about is that when there are so many painters present, can they really withstand the crazy profligacy of the other party? At this time, Ku Yen also said what he was most worried about. Suppress it. If he can really take out paper and pen that are rarer and more expensive than the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost essence brush, let alone those ordinary painters. Even the three of us old guys can't withstand it. It seems that I have to go to those two old guys to discuss it quickly, otherwise, tomorrow's preliminary round will really be a big mess. After saying that, Gu Hongyu left the room. He really didn't expect that a painting competition for painters would be messed up by a person who knows nothing about painting. Elder Yi. I really didn't expect that you are not a painter. What I didn't expect even more is that you are not a painter, but you can pass the audition by spending money. At this point, Shi Duchuan gritted his teeth, looked directly at Yi Feng and said, Elder Yi, didn't you ask me to learn the way of spending money? Then can you let me spend money and get a place in the audition? I also want to take this opportunity to show my painting skills. Chapter 675 Miss Shi, what did you say you painted? Yeah. Little Shi, you are quite good. If you can also get a spot through the audition, then the two of us can shine in tomorrow's preliminary round. After hearing Shi Duchuan's idea, Yi Feng's eyes lit up, and then he agreed directly. Okay. Then you hurry up and find Mr. Ko, I'll go back to the restaurant first. After that, Yi Feng walked towards the restaurant alone. Tianhuolu. Dong. 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 Ku Yan, who had just returned to his room, heard the door ring again, and his face showed a hint of displeasure, but he still shouted, Come in. Manager Xia. Why are you here again? Is there someone who wants to get the spot that directly passed the audition from me? Before he finished speaking, when Ku Yan saw Shi Duchuan walking in from the outside, he was stunned. Mr. Ko. Didn't expect that I was back. Surprised or not? Seeing Ku Yan stunned, Shi Duchuan couldn't help laughing, and then said jokingly. Miss Shi. Why are you back? After recovering from his shock, Ku Yan asked with embarrassment. Mr. Ko. I have studied painting for decades. So, I want to compete with you. If I win, how about you give me a spot in the audition? Hearing Ku Yan's question, Shi Duchuan also stated his purpose directly. You have studied painting for decades? What the hell are you studying? If you really studied for decades, how could you not know the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost wood? Hearing what Shi Duchuan said, Ku Yan also had a black face and started to complain wildly in his heart. Miss Shi. Let's be frank. I know you don't know anything about painting, but what I don't understand is why you also want a quota. After calming down, Ku Yan also looked at Shi Duchuan with a puzzled look and asked. Master Ko. Since you pointed it out directly, I will say it directly. I want to learn the way of squandering from Elder Yi, so I want to get a quota, and then enjoy the joy of squandering with Elder Yi in the preliminary competition tomorrow. Hearing Ku Yan's question, Shi Duchuan didn't hide it and directly said his thoughts. Squandering is squandering. And you also come up with a way to squander? How can you play so well? Moreover, this painting competition is extremely important to all painters, but you treat it as a place to enjoy the joy of spending money? Even if you want to enjoy the joy of spending money, you have to consider the feelings of us poor painters. After hearing Shi Duchuan's thoughts, Ku Yan almost cried. He really didn't expect that one day the person who defeated him would not be his peers, but a cross-border player. No. One young master, Yi, is already giving us a headache. If this old woman who spent all her money is involved, tomorrow's preliminary round will be a big deal. Thinking of this, Ku Yan's eyes gradually became firm, and then he looked at Shi Duchuan and said, Miss Shi, I'm so sorry, I won't compete with you, and I won't give you this quota, so please go back. 10-9 Mysterious Ghost Brushes. Hearing Ku Yan's refusal, Shi Duchuan said this without caring. Miss Shi, what did you just say? Hearing the 9 mysterious ghost brush, Ku Yan was stunned at first, and then confirmed it with excitement. 10-9 mysterious ghost brushes. As long as you compete with me, lose to me, and then give me a quota. Then I will give you 10-9 mysterious ghost brushes. Seeing Ku Yan's unconcealed excitement, Shi Dachuan also repeated it with a smile on his face. Huh. Hearing this, Ku Yan also took a deep breath, then looked at Shi Dachuan and said seriously, Miss Shi, please give me a chance to learn from you. After a moment. Miss Shi. Your painting, this painting really makes me admit defeat. When Ku Yan saw Shi Dachuan's painting of thousands of insects coming out of the mountain, he praised it with a twitch of his mouth. Master Ku. I am so happy to get your recognition. Besides, I didn't expect that my first painting of thousands of horses galloping would be so successful. After hearing Ku Yan's praise, Shi Dachuan also said with a proud look on his face. I tried hard to identify it, but I could only think that it was a painting of thousands of insects coming out of the mountain. In the end, you tell me, this is thousands of horses galloping? After hearing what Shi Dachuan said and knowing what the painting was about, Ku Yan couldn't believe his eyes. He thought Yi Feng's painting of chickens catching insects was already the pinnacle of painting, but he really didn't expect that Shi Dachuan's painting skills were even better than Yi Feng's. Fuck. If it weren't for the 10-9 mysterious ghost spirit brushes, I wouldn't give the quota to this prodigal old woman even if she killed me. After recovering from his shock, Ku Yan also broke down and ranted in his heart. Master Ku. Since I won, give me the badge. Also, the 9 mysterious ghost spirit wood is right there, go and cut off a piece, and then make 10-9 mysterious ghost spirit brushes yourself. At this moment, Shi Dachuan's voice suddenly rang from the side. On the other side. You too. This is the situation. Let's not talk about whether this Master Yi can take out more rare and expensive paper and pen in the preliminary competition tomorrow. Even if he takes out the black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost brush, and then draws a picture of a chicken catching insects in front of many painters, I'm afraid it will make many painters collapse. In a guest room, Gu Hongyu also looked at the 2 old men beside him with a serious expression and told them what he was worried about. Brother Gu. If it's true as you said, then the identity of this Master Yi is probably very terrifying, and we can't afford to provoke him at all. So, my idea is that since he wants to play, let him play as he wants. Otherwise, once we make a decision that makes him unhappy, the consequences are not something the 3 of us can afford. After hearing what Gu Hongyu said, Diao Yan was silent for a moment and also expressed his thoughts. No. Brother Diao, we can't let so many painters suffer at the hands of Master Yi, just for our own sake. How about we draw lots tomorrow? As long as we win, we don't have to participate in the preliminary round and can directly enter the promotion round the day after tomorrow. At this time, Li Daong, who had been silent all the time, rejected Diao Yan's proposal and then expressed his own ideas. Hearing Li Daong's proposal, Gu Hongyu and Diao Yan's eyes lit up, and then they both nodded in approval of the proposal. Chapter 676 Chickens are fighting each other, and they still need someone to judge the paintings? Master. Come out. At this moment, Ku Yan pushed open the door, stuck his head in, and shouted to Gu Hongyu. Ku Yan. We are busy discussing Master Yi's affairs, why did you ask me to come out? After coming out, Gu Hongyu first closed the door, and then looked at Ku Yan with a puzzled look and asked. Master. There is a spendthrift old woman beside Master Yi. She is Master Yi's personal maid, and she knows nothing about painting either. She just came back to me again, and she also wants to get a spot from me for direct audition. Hearing Gu Hongyu's question, Ku Yan also hurriedly told him about it. What? One Master Yi is enough to give us a headache. We can't have one more. So, you must not give her this spot. Hearing Ku Yan's words, Gu Hongyu was also shocked, and then hurriedly reminded her. Master. But I already gave it to her. She really gave too much. Looking at the nervous Gu Hongyu, Ku Yan also said this with helplessness. What? Are you crazy? Even if she gives you a huge benefit, you can't give her this quota. Isn't this nonsense? Hearing Ku Yan's words, Gu Hongyu was also furious and cursed. 10-9 Mysterious Ghost Brushes. Looking at the furious Gu Hongyu, Ku Yan said this calmly. 1 quota is also given. 2 quotas are also given. It doesn't matter, I will discuss this matter with the 2 old guys and see how to solve it. After hearing that the benefit was 10-9 Mysterious Ghost Brushes, the furious Gu Hongyu calmed down instantly, and then patted Ku Yan on the shoulder and continued, okay, go back to your room quickly, this matter is known to you, me, heaven and earth, and must not be known to a third person. After speaking, Gu Hongyu opened the door and walked directly into the guest room. Should I say it or not? Master's expression is really amazing. Looking at Gu Hongyu, who returned to the guest room, Ku Yan was also amazed in his heart. You too. Things have changed, we need to discuss it again. After returning to the guest room, Gu Hongyu frowned and said this to Diao Yan and Li Daong. On the other side, outside the restaurant. Mr. Fong. Is the news accurate? At this time, a man in a green robe asked Fong Tianlei directly. Mr. Mi. The news is quite accurate. The 2 people who got the quota from Ku Yan are currently in this restaurant. To be honest, I'm really curious about how the other party got the quota from Ku Yan. You know, Ku Yan is extremely disgusted with this kind of backdoor thing. Hearing Mihu's inquiry, Fong Tianlei also gave a positive answer and also said what he was curious about. I'm curious too. Let's go and meet the other party and we'll know. With a hint of excitement, Mihu walked into the restaurant first. In the guest room. In front of 2 drawing tables, Yi Feng and Shi Dachuan were concentrating on painting their own paintings. This competition was initiated by Yi Feng. He wanted to see who was better between him and Shi Dachuan. If Ku Yan saw this scene, he would definitely shout in a collapsed state, a little chicken catches insects, and 1,000 insects come out of the mountain. You two should stop pecking at each other. After a moment. Huh? Xiaoshi, what are you painting? 10,000 insects coming out of the mountain? When Yi Feng saw Shi Dachuan's masterpiece, he asked in confusion. What do you mean by 10,000 insects coming out of the mountain? This is 10,000 horses galloping. Elder Yi, you are not deliberately belittling my painting just to win. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Shi Dachuan temporarily ignored the identities of the 2, and then expressed his thoughts seriously. 10,000 horses galloping? You call this 10,000 insects coming out of the mountain 10,000 horses galloping? What about the horse? Did it run away? Besides, do I need to belittle your painting? It has already reached the bottom, where is there any room for belittlement? Yi Feng couldn't believe his ears after hearing what Shi Dachuan said. He shook his head helplessly and said, Xiaoshi, no matter what you think, the dragon and phoenix painting I drew is definitely much better than your painting of thousands of insects coming out of the mountains, so I won this competition. Elder Yi. I don't accept it. My painting of thousands of horses galloping can't lose to your painting of chickens catching insects. No, let's go find Mr. Ke and let him judge it for us. After hearing this, Shi Dachuan also proposed an idea with an unconvinced look on his face. Dong. 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 At this moment, a knock on the door suddenly sounded, interrupting the quarrel between the 2. Who are you? When Shi Dachuan opened the door and saw 2 strange men standing outside, he asked, curiously. Fuck. So beautiful. I've heard that Ku Yan's weakness is women. Now it seems that Ku Yan must have given the quota because of this charming woman. When Mihu and Fong Tianlei saw Shi Dachuan opening the door, they all had the same guess in their hearts. Hello, beautiful lady. We are Mihu and Fong Tianlei, who are known as the 3 young masters of watching together with Ku Yan. Because I learned that you and your young master got 2 quotas from Ku Yan, I thought about coming to meet you. After recovering from his shock, Mihu pretended to be a gentleman and looked at Sher Dachuan and explained. The 3 young masters of Huaqing? In other words, your painting attainments are almost the same as that of Ku Shao? Hearing this, Yi Feng also came over, then looked at the 2 and asked directly. This must be Master Yi. Yes, in terms of painting attainments, the 3 of us are indeed on par with each other. Seeing Yi Feng suddenly appear, Mihu was not surprised at all, but answered him directly. That's perfect. I just had a painting contest with her. But we both think we draw better than the other, so how about we ask you 2 to help us judge? Yi Feng's eyes lit up after hearing Mihu's answer, and then he directly expressed his thoughts. Ha ha ha. Okay. Judgment of paintings is as easy as eating and drinking water for the 2 of us. Feng Tianlei, who had been silent, laughed and agreed after hearing what Yi Feng said. Chapter 677, Don't fucking rob it, Gu Hongyu's mentality collapsed. After a while. Crazy. These 2 are absolutely crazy. How can they use the 9 mysterious ghost brush to draw such a ridiculous painting on the black sandpaper? They are not competing in painting, this is simply a waste of money. After entering the room, when Mihu and Feng Tianlei saw 2 scrapped 9 mysterious ghost brushes and 2 paintings on the black sandpaper, they cursed in their hearts. After all, even the 2 of them didn't have this kind of top-notch paper and pen. Master Yi. Let's not talk about whose painting is better. I just want to know why you didn't incorporate the painting idea into the painting. After recovering from his shock, Mihu also looked at Yi Feng with a puzzled look and asked. Master Mi. Do you think there is a possibility that the 2 of us are not actually painters, so we did not incorporate the painting concept into the painting? Seeing Mihu's puzzled look, Yi Feng also explained tactfully. What? You 2 are not painters? Then why do you use this 9 mysterious ghost brush and black ghost sandpaper to paint? After hearing Yi Feng's words, Mihu exclaimed with his eyes wide open, and his eyes were filled with disbelief. He never thought that the person who had such top-level paper and pen in his hand was not a painter. Who would dare to believe this? Mi Xiao. This 9 mysterious ghost brush and black ghost sandpaper are already the worst paper and pen in my hand. Besides, there is really no need to use better paper and pen for such a painting competition. Hearing Mihu's exclamation, Yi Feng also explained seriously. Is this what I mean? What I mean is that you 2 are not painters, so there is no need to use such good paper and pen when painting. So, you are telling me now that this is the worst paper and pen in your hand? If you do this, how can we, the real painters, survive? After hearing Yi Feng's explanation, Mihu and Feng Tianlei almost cried. They never dreamed that one day they would be hit by 2 amateurs. Mi Xiao. Feng Xiao. As long as you judge that my painting of dragon and phoenix is better than his painting of galloping horses, I will give each of you 39 mysterious ghost paintbrushes as a gift. Remember, don't change your expression too much, don't let him find out that we are secretly colluding. At this moment, Yi Feng's voice suddenly rang out in Mihu and Feng Tianlei's minds. Hearing Yi Feng's words, Mihu and Feng Tianlei were both shocked, and then began to observe the 2 paintings seriously. Is this picture of chickens catching insects what Master Yi said about the auspicious dragon and phoenix? Is this picture of thousands of insects coming out of the mountain what Master Yi said about the galloping horses? If Master Yi hadn't told us, we would never have known what these 2 paintings were about. And, to be fair, the level of these 2 paintings is really evenly matched, and it's hard to tell who's better. After carefully observing the 2 paintings again, Mihu and Feng Tianlei first complained in their hearts, then walked aside and pretended to discuss for a while, and then looked at Yi Feng and said together, Master Yi, we both feel that this picture of dragon and phoenix is slightly better. Crap. These two bastards must have been bought by Elder Yi. Otherwise, how could they say this picture of chickens catching insects is a picture of dragon and phoenix? If they weren't bought by Elder Yi, Sure Duchuan, would just stand upside down and eat shit. After hearing the judgment results said by the two together, Sure Duchuan also complained crazily in his heart. Forget it. No more arguments. This may be the best result. If I really make Elder Yi angry, I will be miserable when I return to the palace. Thinking of this, Sure Duchuan also looked at Yi Feng, and then said with a convinced look, Elder Yi, it seems that I will have to learn a lot from you in the future in terms of painting. Little Sure. Failure is the mother of success. You can't give up your love for painting because of a failure. You have to remember that what we lack the most is these garbage paper and pens. In the future, as long as we want to paint, we can paint anytime and anywhere. Do you hear me? Hearing Sure Duchuan's words, Yi Feng also said with a proud look on his face. Garbage paper and pens? Paint whenever you want? How many 9 mysterious ghost brushes and black sandpaper do you have in your hands? Do your mothers know that you are such a spendthrift? Hearing Yi Feng's words, Mi Hu and Feng Tianlei on the side almost cried with envy. How they wished that their master could also say such a sentence to them, and then give them an unlimited supply of 9 mysterious ghost paintbrushes and black ghost sandpaper. A moment later. Xiao Shi. You should also go back to your guest room to rest. We have to conserve our energy and participate in tomorrow's preliminary round in the best condition. After all, the preliminary round is different from the audition. If we want to break through the siege, we must rely on our own real ability. When Yi Feng sent Mi Hu and Feng Tianlei away, he reminded Sure Duchuan in the room. On the other side. Fuck. You two old bastards are fucking robbers. Don't rob them. I only have 4 left. At this time, Gu Hongyu, with messy clothes and messy hair, curled up in the corner like a beggar, protecting the last 4 9 mysterious ghost brushes in his arms and yelling at the 2 people in front of him. Brother Diao. Forget it, after all, these 10 9 mysterious ghost brushes belong to Lao Gu, and the 2 of us have each taken 3, and he kept 4 for himself, no problem. Hearing Gu Hongyu's roar, Li Daong also looked at Diao Yan beside him and expressed his thoughts. Okay. Lao Gu, don't blame us. Who told you to talk to your apprentice without using your spiritual sense? We didn't hear it on purpose. But if you heard it, then you have to have a share. At this time, Diao Yan also looked at Gu Hongyu with a sad look in his eyes and laughed. Bang! At this moment, the door was suddenly slammed open, and then Mi Hu, full of excitement, walked in from outside, and shouted excitedly, Master, Feng Tianlei, and I made a fortune this time. We both got 39 mysterious ghost brushes. This matter must not be known to Ku Yan and his master. Seeing that the master and Li Daong in the room looked at him with a shocked look, Mi Hu's face also showed a smug look, and Mi Hu would never have thought that there was a person hiding behind Diao Yan and Li Daong at this time. Chapter 678 Sure Duchuan, how can you play so well? It's over. This time, there is no bitter tea left. Seeing Gu Hongyu's hungry eyes, Diao Yan and Li Daong wanted to cry to death. They never thought that they had just robbed 3 9 mysterious ghost brushes from Gu Hongyu, but they would be robbed of several times the 9 mysterious ghost brushes. If they had known that their disciples could get back 30, they would never have tried to rob Gu Hongyu. And now, the identities of the wolf and the sheep have been directly exchanged. Huh? Master, Uncle Li. There seems to be someone behind you. Could it be that you are hiding a mistress in this golden house? Mi Hu was stunned at first when he vaguely found that there seemed to be a figure behind Diao Yan and Li Daong, and then he exclaimed in shock, and cursed in his heart, I came at the wrong time, which ruined the good things of Master and Uncle Li. Fuck. Are you hiding a mistress in a golden house? The one hiding behind us was originally a sheep, but when you came, it turned into a wolf. Hearing Mihu's exclamation, Diao Yan and Li Daong also smiled bitterly and moved away. When Mihu saw Gu Hongyu curled up in the corner, his eyes almost popped out of his head in shock, and then he stammered, "Uncle Gu, is there a possibility that I was just bragging?" The next day, early morning. In the hotel guest room. Comfortable. This sleep is really comfortable. First take a look at the waste products for fresh today. Yifeng sat up from the bed, first stretched beautifully, then put away the tattered quilt, and then checked the waste products for fresh today. Today's waste product, painting fragments * 100,000 painting fragments, contains terrifying killing intent. If you absorb the power of the painting fragments, you can directly possess the terrifying killing painting intent, and you can also integrate the killing intent into the painting when you are painting. I talked about painting several times yesterday, and today you gave me 100,000 pieces of painting fragments? But, I have no use for these painting fragments, who should I give them to? After learning about the situation of the wasteful products for fresh today, Yifeng frowned and thought. Dong. 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 Just then, a knock on the door suddenly sounded, and then Shi Dachuan's voice rang out from outside the door, "Young Master Yi, the preliminary round is about to start, we have to hurry over." "No hurry. Xiaoshi, come in first, I have something to ask you." After hearing Shi Dachuan's voice, Yifeng also thought of something, and then called Shi Dachuan in. "Xiaoshi, tell me honestly, are you interested in painting?" When Shi Dachuan walked into the room, Yifeng asked with a serious face. "Elder Yi. Since you asked, I will tell you the truth. I have no interest in painting. If I didn't want to learn the way of squandering money from you, I wouldn't want to participate in this painting competition. I might as well dress up my face instead of painting on those scraps of paper." Hearing Yifeng's question, Shi Dachuan immediately answered. "Great. I just happen to have 100,000 pieces of painting fragments. Since you like painting so much, I'll give it to you. As long as you absorb the killing painting in these 100,000 pieces of painting fragments, you can incorporate this terrifying killing intent into your paintings in the future." Yifeng said excitedly after hearing this. "When did I say I liked it?" Hearing Yifeng's words, Shi Dachuan was stunned, and when he saw Yifeng start to take out handfuls of painting fragments, his face also showed a trace of uneasiness. "Wait a minute. Use your hand as a pen and your face as paper. I'm putting makeup on my face, isn't that also a painting? At that time, can I directly integrate the terrifying murderous intent in the painting fragments into the makeup on my face? In this way, if I meet some people who I hate and keep staring at me in the future, I can directly release the murderous intent to scare them to death. Not only that, if I fight in the future, it can also have a huge impact on the enemy. This can definitely become my trump card." Thinking of this, Shi Dachuan also revealed a look of sudden enlightenment, and then thought to himself, "No wonder Elder Yi said I like it." It turns out that he is not referring to painting, but makeup. If you think about it carefully, makeup seems to really belong to the way of painting. After a moment. Ding. Remind the host, today's waste product failed to be wasted, no reward. After a long time, when Yifeng finally let Shi Dachuan absorb all the 100,000 pieces of painting fragments, the system prompt sound also rang from his mind. What's the situation? How could it fail? Didn't Shi Dachuan, this androgynous guy, say he didn't like painting? Hearing the prompt sound from the system, Yifeng was completely confused. This was different from what he thought. System. Did you make a wrong judgment? This is the waste product refreshed today. There is nothing wrong with my waste. With doubts, Yifeng immediately asked the system. As Yifeng finished speaking, a strange message emerged from his mind. Fuck. This is also possible? How can Shirdachuan, this bastard, be so good at playing that he turned the art of painting into makeup? Is this the idea of a normal person? When Yifeng learned the reason for his failure, he was going crazy. He really didn't expect that the art of painting could be connected with makeup. Elder Yi. I just realized that everything is under your control. No wonder you said yesterday that if the two of us want to break through the siege in the preliminary round today, we need our real skills. It turns out that you are waiting for me here. Just when Yifeng was about to go crazy, Shirdachuan thought of something again, and then said this to Yifeng with admiration. What the hell are you talking about again? What am I in control of again? Hearing Shirdachuan's words, Yifeng was completely stunned. Elder Yi. There's still time. I'll incorporate murderous intent into my makeup. I'll paint my galloping horses, and you'll paint your dragons and phoenixes. When the time is almost up, I'll hand in my paintings in advance, and I'll definitely attract the attention of all the painters. Then I'll release the murderous intent in my makeup and scare them all. Then they won't be able to finish their paintings perfectly, and we can advance directly. Seeing that Yifeng didn't react, Shirdachuan excitedly expressed his guess, and he thought that this was the real purpose of Yifeng giving him 100,000 pieces of painting fragments at this time. Otherwise, with their painting skills, it would be impossible to break through today. Fuck. You're also a brain-filling emperor. I just want to spend money, but you want to make trouble? After hearing Shirdachuan's idea, Yifeng was stunned and didn't know what to say for a while. Chapter 679 Resist the shady dealings, the lucky wooden stick must not be taken. Half an hour later. When Yifeng and the well-dressed Shirdachuan arrived at the center of the town, they were directly arranged to a rest area on the side. There were 2 rest areas next to them, each of which had 5 people sitting in it. Only the one they were in had only 2 of them. Fuck. No way. It's okay to go through the back door, but they also have special treatment? Seeing that hundreds of painters participating in the preliminary round were standing not far away, and only they were sitting in the rest area to rest, Yifeng couldn't help but exclaimed, and he also noticed that hundreds of painters not far away looked at them with envy from time to time. Everyone. This year's painting competition is different from previous ones. Before the preliminary round begins, a drawing session has been added. There are only 2 red dots on 1,000 wooden sticks. As long as someone draws them, they don't have to participate in the preliminary round and can directly enter tomorrow's promotion round. At this moment, Gu Hongyu, Diao Yan and Li Daong suddenly appeared in the air, and then Gu Hongyu's voice instantly resounded throughout the central square. What? There is actually a drawing session added? This is quite interesting. I don't know if I am the lucky one. Fancy. The iron must be hard to forge, as long as your painting attainments are strong enough, why would you care about these? As Gu Hongyu's voice fell, thousands of painters began to discuss in a low voice. There was no such lottery before. But now there is, and there are 2 places. This is not specially prepared for me and Xiaoshi. In the rest area, when Yifeng heard Gu Hongyu's words, he had a bold guess in his mind, and then said directly to the system, use the opportunity of peeping into the secrets of heaven once, and check who the 2 lucky ones will be. Ding. Consume the opportunity of peeping into the secrets of heaven, and the 2 people who draw the lucky wooden sticks are the host and Shirdachuan. As Yifeng's voice fell, the voice of the system rang in his mind. Fuck. It's really prepared for the 2 of us. Then we can't just sit there and wait for death. If we are really selected, how can we show our painting skills? Although it is convenient to complete the task, I still want to rely on my own ability to overcome all the levels and make it to the finals. After hearing the voice of the system, Yifeng's face also showed a trace of anxiety. Ding. Host, you old man, if it is a normal situation, you will definitely accept this shady deal with peace of mind after learning this news, but now, you actually want to do things with Shirdachuan. Just when Yifeng was anxious, the voice of the system sounded again in his mind. Damn it. System, you are the worm in my stomach. You can guess this? After hearing what the system said, Yifeng also showed a touch of surprise, and then grinned. I am the little prince of trouble. Since there is a chance to make trouble, I must not miss it. Otherwise, there will be no happiness in life, and there will be only a mess. System, if other people's lives are a mess, they will definitely be upset, but if your life is a mess, there will be many people who want to help you clean up those messes. So is this the reason why you want to make trouble? Everyone. It's getting late. Everyone immediately line up in a long line of 20, and then draw wooden sticks in turn. Just when Yifeng and the system were chatting, Gu Hongyu's voice rang again. Young Master Yi. I don't know if the two of us have that luck. If both of us can draw the lucky wooden stick, then the trump card that I put into my makeup with murderous intent can be used in the promotion match, and then the two of us can definitely make it to the finals. Then, Shirdachuan's voice also rang from Yifeng's ear. Little Shir. Do you think there is a possibility that their lucky draw is actually prepared for the two of us? Hearing Shirdachuan's words, Yifeng also reminded with a smile on his face. What? Specially prepared for the two of us? Elder Yi, what do you mean? Before Shirdachuan finished speaking, Yifeng put his right index finger on his lips, made a hushing gesture, and then said, let's go and find someone who is willing to change the stick, and then send this lucky wooden stick directly. In this way, we can successfully participate in the preliminary round. You have to remember that it is a very shameful thing to go through the back door, so if we want to win, we must win openly, and even if we lose, we must lose openly, do you understand? Shocked. Shirdachuan was really shocked by Yifeng's words, but he still wanted to ask Yifeng in his heart, if that's the case, why did we have to go through the back door during the audition? Although he thought so, Shirdachuan was not a fool, so he naturally wouldn't really ask. Elder Yi. If that's the case, do I still need to use the killing painting idea integrated into my makeup? After calming down, Shirdachuan looked at Yifeng seriously and asked. Yes. Why not? If they are really affected, it can only prove one thing, that is, they were not focused enough when painting. As for the failure to finish the painting perfectly in the end, it was also caused by themselves. What does it have to do with us? Hearing Shirdachuan's question, Yifeng also answered with a serious face. Fuck. What you said just now made my blood boil. In the end, the real reason why you don't want the lucky wooden stick is that you still want to continue to make trouble. After hearing what Yifeng said, Shirdachuan reacted immediately, and then smiled bitterly and said to himself, should I say it or not, Elder Yi really wants to play, and if nothing unexpected happens, Elder Yi may have already thought about how to play tomorrow's promotion game, but he hasn't told me yet. A moment later, when Gu Hongyu, Diao Yan and Li Daong in the air found that Yifeng and Shirdachuan in the crowd did not even look at the wooden sticks they drew, and directly exchanged wooden sticks with the painter beside them, the three of them were all dumbfounded in the air. They never thought that this foolproof lottery plan was ruined by Yifeng and Shirdachuan. No. This is definitely not a coincidence. It seems that Master Yi has discovered this lottery plan, which we prepared specifically for him. After recovering from his shock, Gu Hongyu frowned and expressed his guess. When Diao Yan and Li Daong heard this guess, their faces changed, and they thought to themselves, it's over, something big is going to happen in this preliminary round. Chapter 680 Dazzling Golden Light, the legendary paper and pen appear. Everyone. 2 lucky contestants have appeared. Next, I will open the special painting realm. After the remaining 998 participating painters enter the special painting realm, each of them will choose a painting table and start painting. The painting time is 2 hours. Although he felt a little uneasy, Gu Hongyu still pretended to be calm and continued to host. Elder Yi. The special painting realm is a different space opened up by a special secret treasure. The space inside is not too large, but if there are many Shintoists who enter and they are strong, the amount of divine stones or divine crystals consumed when opening it is also extremely terrifying. Moreover, the different space opened up by this special secret treasure is a special painting realm for painters, a special pill realm for alchemists, and a special instrument realm for instrument refiners. It is basically used for competitions or assessments, because the space inside is relatively quiet and will not be affected by various external factors. In the crowd, Shirdachuan also explained the situation of this special painting realm to Yifeng. The space is not too big, and people can still enter. You will not be affected by the outside world inside. Once it is turned on, it will consume divine stones or divine crystals. Isn't this a motorhome? Aren't the divine stones or divine crystals consumed gasoline fuel? After listening to Shirdachuan's explanation, Yifeng's eyes lit up, and he thought to himself, this thing is good, I must get a few later. If I have this special secret treasure, I can rest wherever I want when my master ascends to the divine realm, and I won't be disturbed. Sure. Then can the person who activates this special secret treasure enter that different space? Suddenly thinking of something, Yifeng also looked at Shirdachuan and asked. Yes. People holding special secret treasures can enter or not, and whether to let others see the situation in the different space is also controlled by the person holding the special secret treasure. Hearing Yifeng's inquiry, Shirdachuan immediately explained. Very good. I want to give you a task. After today's preliminary round, you have to find a way to get me a special treasure. After hearing Shirdachuan's explanation, Yifeng gave this difficult task to Shirdachuan. 10 minutes later. Interesting. No one actually chose the first row of drawing tables. Are you worried that sitting in the front row will be stressful? When Yifeng and Shirdachuan entered the special painting realm, they found that most of the participating painters had already chosen their seats, but there was no one in the first row of drawing tables. Yifeng walked towards the first row of drawing tables with a sly smile. When Shirdachuan saw this, he immediately followed him. Outside. It's over. Young Master Yi and his maid actually walked towards the first row of drawing tables. They are really afraid that others will not see the expensive paper and pens they use, and their superb painting skills. When Gu Hongyu discovered this, he also spoke to Diao Yan and Li Daong with an uneasy look. Ha ha ha. It's over, it's all over now. Master Yi and his maid not only chose the first row, but also stood in the opposite direction, directly meeting the eyes of the more than 900 painters behind them. Doesn't he have any psychological pressure at all? After hearing Gu Hongyu's words, Diao Yan discovered this situation before he could say anything, and then expressed his thoughts with a wry smile. Hey! Let's not talk about whether the painters behind will be affected, but the mentality of the two painters behind Yi Xiao and his maid is definitely broken at this moment. I'm afraid they would never dream that they would meet such a player who doesn't play by the rules in such a competition. At this time, Li Daong, who had been silent all the time, shook his head helplessly and said. In the special painting realm. Fuck. These two people are crazy. They don't have their backs to us, but they have to stand in the opposite direction. Facing more than 900 pairs of eyes, aren't they afraid of affecting their mentality? At this time, the two painters in the second row facing Yifeng and Shirdachuan were almost broken. They didn't know what was going on with the people behind them, but when they thought that someone in front was staring at them, their mentality began to be chaotic. In this case, it was difficult for them to show their true level when creating paintings. Sure. Take the paper and pen. At this moment, Yifeng shouted, and then a golden light flashed in his hand. A piece of drawing paper shining with golden light in the sun and a golden brush formed a parabola in the eyes of everyone, and finally fell directly into Shirdachuan's hands. Gold-eating sandpaper. heavenly gold and dark wood brush. When everyone came to their senses, many people exclaimed with a change of expression, and their eyes showed an unbelievable look. They couldn't believe that they could see this legendary paper and pen in their lifetime. Although the black ghost sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost paintbrush are extremely rare, they still exist in the world after all. However, the gold-devouring sandpaper and the heavenly gold dark wood paintbrush have long disappeared in the god realm for millions of years and only exist in various ancient secret books. In the hearts of countless painters, they are already legendary. Excited. Excited. Tears. When all the painters confirmed that it was the legendary gold-devouring sandpaper and the heavenly gold dark wood paintbrush, they all shed excited tears. No one could understand their feelings at this time, and no one could understand the importance of this legendary paper and pen in the hearts of their painters. It is no exaggeration to say that they will no longer have any regrets even if they die if they can see this legendary paper and pen in their lifetime. The outside world. Fuck. What Master Yi said before was not bragging, but true. The black sandpaper and the 9 mysterious ghost brush are really the worst paper and pens in his hands. Crazy. I'm really going crazy. I didn't expect that I could see this legendary paper and pen with my own eyes in my lifetime. Now I have goosebumps all over my body. Hearing the exclamations of Diao Yan and Li Daong, Gu Hongyu on the side also cursed with a black face. What are you exclaiming here? Have you ever thought that Master Yi and his maid are about to use this legendary brush to draw the legendary dragon and phoenix and the legendary picture of galloping horses on the legendary drawing paper? Stare. After hearing what Gu Hongyu said, Diao Yan and Li Daong reacted suddenly, then looked at each other and rushed directly to the entrance of the different space. They could not watch Yi Feng and Shi Dachuan lose the 2 legendary papers and pens.